Hi guys, I'm Ben from Adaptalux and welcome back to the monthly macro competition where today we are going to be making a few changes to the way that we run these competitions. The most notable, of course, is that we're calling it a competition. When we first started these, we weren't sure whether we could maintain giving away prizes every single month, but I'm pretty sure that's here to stay now. So we are going to start calling it a proper competition. We're going to call it the Adaptalux Community Macro Photography Competition. Hopefully that will attract a few new people that are looking for macro photography competitions out there. And of course, the more people that we have joining in, the longer this will carry on going and the better prizes we can potentially offer in the future. So that's just one little change. We're also moving our blog posts into a static page. So usually I link down in the description to information on this month's theme, but all of that is going to be on the same page from now on. So you can go and bookmark that page and come back to the same place every month to take a look at the new theme and the winners from last month. Hopefully that'll just make it a little bit less confusing trying to go and find the latest blog posts and what's going on. The videos are pretty much staying the same, although I'm going to experiment with telling you all of the theme and how to enter the beginning of the video, and then we'll take a look at the winners and notable entries from last month. So let me know how you like these changes. You can comment down below or on the blog posts or on Facebook as well. So with that little bit of housekeeping out of the way, let's talk about this month's theme and how you guys can enter the competition. The theme for April is going to be fruity. So you can go and raid your fridge or your fruit bowl and get some nice fruit slices for some macro and close-up photos, or you can interpret things a little bit differently and capture the vibe of fruitiness. Lots of bright colors and juices, no doubt. With a new theme, we need some new prizes. This month we're going to be giving away the photography deck, which is a really cool set of playing cards with a photography cheat sheet on the rear of each card. All sorts of different tips and tricks for your camera and your settings and composition. You can slip that into your camera bag and keep it with you wherever you go. And of course, you can also play cards with it. The runner-up this month is going to be getting one of our 2-in-1 phone macro lenses. They just clip onto any phone and they're really interesting for seeing things close up in a pinch. To enter this month's theme, all you need to do is head over to the Adaptalux Macro Photography Community Group on Facebook. You can search for that, or there's a link down in the description and on our website as well. You need to find the pinned post at the top of that page, which gives you all of the details of this month's theme, and enter your macro and close-up photos on the comments to that post. You can enter as many times as you like, but do make sure that everything is on theme. So with the theme of fruity set for this month, let's take a look at some of the entries and the winners from last month. So here we are in the Adaptalux Macro Photography Community Group, where at the top in the featured posts we have last month's theme. Last month's theme was video games, and we got a lot of really interesting and varied entries. Everything from games to controllers to colourful interpretations of game characters doing their thing. Unfortunately, we don't have time to get through all of them, but we do have some notable entries and of course a winner and a runner-up to choose. So let's get started with the first of our notable entries. First up, we've got Luca's fantastic scene here from Warhammer 40,000. Now, I'm a big Warhammer fan. I play most of the Warhammer games. This one, of course, is done using the tabletop miniatures, which makes it really easy to grab some of those miniatures and make something that looks just like an action scene from a game. And Luca has done that perfectly. So we've got some scenery down the front here, covering up the base of this guy, and of course the much larger base of the much larger guy behind him. And we've also got this fantastic fire or explosion effect in the background. Luca, you'll have to let me know whether you saw this on our tutorials. So whether or not this is tinfoil with red and orange light back here, obviously being out of focus creates that bokeh, makes it look like real fire and explosions. It really brings the whole scene to life. So overall, this is a fantastic shot and really interesting to look at for both the models and of course the action scene itself. Thank you very much for your entry, Luca. I hope to see a lot more like this in the future. Next up, we've got Patrick's photo, which is, of course, a little bit different and going a little bit more retro. We've got this slice of lemon representing Pac-Man. This is a really lovely way to approach a subject like this. Video games, absolutely, but using a completely different subject, something unrelated to the theme. So we love to see that kind of creative interpretation of the theme. Patrick, you've done a really good job getting this gradient into the background here. I'm presuming that this whole thing is sat on maybe a piece of glass or something like that. I can see some little specks of maybe dirt or scratches on the surface there. I probably would think about cloning those out in Photoshop, but they're not necessary. Overall, this is still a really fun and fantastic entry. So very well done, Patrick. Keep up the good work. Next up, we've got something that is immediately recognizable to most gamers, the control buttons for the PlayStation. These circle, triangle, X and square buttons are very, very iconic, and MyHi has done a fantastic job of capturing these with a lovely drop off of soft focus into the background. Now, something that you find a lot when you're photographing controllers and devices up close like this is that there's a strange amount of dirt on them. Your hands over time will leave all kinds of grime all over these buttons. So MyHi has either got a brand new controller here or he's cleaned it very, very thoroughly. So there's a lot of thought actually gone into this photo, and being able to just immediately recognize what this is from really not a lot of information just shows that this is a very well composed and very nice gaming photograph. Very well done, MyHi. Thank you for your entry. Next up, we've got Mark's photograph here of another modern gaming icon from the game BioShock. This is a game that's set underwater, so Mark has recognized that and the sort of industrial nature of a lot of the designs in the game by adding all of this color and this background as well. The background in particular is really interesting. Maybe this is some sort of computer casing or something like that, but the scale here is actually making it look a little bit like chicken wire. So we've got this industrial style in the background, and of course the game is set underwater as well, so the addition of the blue light with the red, maybe that's an explosion of some sort as well, it really brings things together and gives it that gamified underwatery look for a really great and very interesting photo. Thank you very much for your entry, Mark. We hope to see more like this in the future. Next up, we've got Monique's photograph here of Connor, I think his name was, from Assassin's Creed 3. This photograph is really, really sharp and very well composed as well. If you look very closely, Monique has positioned a camera just perfectly for Connor's eye to be just poking out from under his hood here. It looks to have been maybe lightened a little bit just so that we can draw attention to the fact that he's looking at us. And of course the whole image is very sharp, and this background, I don't know whether this was part of the model itself or has been placed there, but very appropriately with the American flag here. Overall, this is a really nicely composed, nicely lit photograph, and it really captures that game vibe of Connor sat here crouched down, potentially assassinating his next subject. So very well done, Monique. Thank you for your entry. For our runner-up this month, it has to be one of Irina's fantastic photographs. Irina clearly has a huge back catalogue of nerdy, sci-fi, game-related and themed photographs because we usually see a huge amount of very high-quality photographs from Irina, and this really is her game. So we've got Isaac Clarke here from Dead Space making his way through the Ishimura with this I can't remember what they were called, necromorphs, I believe, chasing him down with a huge amount of atmosphere in this image. We've got the blue in the background that complements the blue of his visor, and then all of this gore and grossness lying around on the floor is nicely lit to show that it's red and bloody and gross. This is one of a huge amount of entries that Irina submitted to this competition, but we could only really pick one, so we went with Isaac Clarke, and even this one there was one of two, so we chose our favorite, but Irina, all of your catalogue of images are really fantastic and we really enjoy seeing them. Hopefully there'll be more themes in the future that you can make use of. Thank you very much for your entry. You're our runner-up for this month. For our winning photograph this month, we had to go with Barry's Atari here. He's implemented a few different photography techniques to make this stand out a little bit more, and he's got that retro nostalgia on his side as well. Barry, you're absolutely right. You can't beat old school gaming. So Barry's used 3 different coloured lighting arms here. He's got a red, a blue and an orange. The blue light, of course, shining across the uneven surface of the plastic on the top of the console here and catching all of those reflections to create this bokeh just as the focus drops off into the background. And then on this front corner, we've got that red and orange. But all of this draws the eye down to this fantastic Atari logo at the front here, just evoking that nostalgia for a lot of us. And overall, it's just a really lovely photograph to look at, just drawing that eye straight down to this pure white logo at the front, but still implementing some eye-catching colours. It's a fantastic photograph and well deserving of winning this month's theme. Thank you very much, Barry, for your entry. So thank you once again to everybody that took the time to enter a photo into last month's theme. And don't forget that this month's theme of Fruity is ready to go right now on the Adaptalux Photography community group. If you need a little bit of inspiration on what to shoot for this month's theme, I will link to a couple of videos just here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you're here in a month's time for another video just like this one where we'll announce the winners. For now, that is all that I've got time for. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.